Hello everyone, and welcome to the Digimon Evening News for October 2024. My name is Rordrik, and today I will be your host. We will dig into all of the news that is coming in Digimon in 2024 of October, but most of this honestly is coming in November, and many of these are just announcements this month. In the card game, we have special boosters coming that will be bringing us up to date with the Japan launches. We have special things that are coming out that you will have to actually go in person to global events in order to pick up. We have a new set coming out in Japan, and we even have a brand new set coming out that has all of the 25th anniversary season special cards coming out in 10 cards for each of the individual seasons. We have no new updates in the Digimon card game, but 2 updates coming in November that will be very important. We have an exciting new crossover in V-Pets, and many more crossovers coming in video games as well, because they won't actually give us a real game. We get a little bit of merchandise that I think is very strange. Liberator continues to move on at its pace, as always. And a little bit of sad news for Bandai that hopefully won't affect Digimon, but I have a feeling it might. But let's dive deeper into these main stories right now. So, for the Digimon card game, the 2 special booster packs that have been announced. Special Booster 2 contains BT 18 and 19, is coming on November 1st in 2024. It contains 150 cards in it, so this is a very large set that is, as I said, part of us moving forward to catch up because we're multiple sets behind to what is coming out in Japan. So this particular set contains a lot of Frontier cards, runs from the Cross Wars manga, and continuing on with the newer cards from Digimon Liberator. But it's also been announced that in February we're getting the next one, version 2.5, which will be another 174 cards, getting us very close to catching up to Japan. But the more interesting thing that they're talking about is the 25th anniversary celebration continues, and this time they're coming out with a few things. There are 2 things that are coming out that you have to buy on Premium Bandai, but then you actually have to go in person to the Digimon Card Game Fest of 2024 or into 2025 as it continues along to actually get your prize. It will not be shipped to you. You must go there. Keep this in mind if you want to buy these. These include a set of sleeves that are the 25th anniversary edition that you can purchase, but also a special set of 6 cards that you can also purchase that are special to this as well. But do keep in mind, the Dallas one, if you're here in the United States, has already passed. You'll have to wait for the Orlando one to come around if you wish to try and pick these up in the United States. But also speaking of the 25th anniversary, a new pre-order has been opened and will be open until November 14th to be released in March. These are the 25th anniversary set cards, but it also comes with more than just that. This bundle will come with an unique playmat that has the 25th anniversary poster that you've seen around quite a bit. It has these 5 Digi-Egg sleeves that you can use for your Digi-Egg deck, along with the 50 deck sleeves so you can complete your single deck with it, and 10 option cards that will come with 2 each for a total of 20 cards. And if you look at this closely, it'll be interesting to find that Haru is sneaking his way into the Digimon card game. Now, this isn't an actual Tamer card. It has nothing to necessarily do with Atmon just yet. But for some people, that might be exciting or worrying that you're seeing possibly more and more Atmon sneaking into things. And it also comes with a nice storage box that also shows all of that art on it as well. And finally, in Japan, in November 29th, they get EX08, which features the Digimon from the Debug novel for Tyrannomon and Frigimon. And I'm still guessing we're going to learn eventually what this is on the cover art behind them. That's, you know, the chained Exodia, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh!, not Digimon. Hey, it's a card game. Whoa, are we going to get a crossover with Yu-Gi-Oh!? I don't think so. So, as always, that's the Digimon card game. It gets lots of stuff. It gets all the love. That's just what Digimon is right now. We have to come to learn to accept that as Digimon fans. But looking also slightly at the Digimon card game, the non-official version, we're looking at the Digimon card game client. As I said, there are no new updates that are scheduled to come out this month, but in November, we're getting 2 updates that are very big. Version 1.4 will allow you to select the deck that the bot uses against you. Now, for me, I use this all the time because I'm still kind of learning. I'm not a huge nerd at the card game yet and fully understand it, so I love just facing the bots, especially because they're nice and quick. So me being able to pick a deck for them that they can actually use, unlike, you know, the D-Reaper decks or some of these combo decks like the Royal Knights that they don't really understand, it's probably better that I fight a real deck even if they're not the best at it. So I think that's great. But the biggest thing for most people is if you're fighting someone else, there will now be inactivity timers, so that you're not just sitting there waiting for so long for your opponent to do something. Things will actually keep happening in your games, hopefully reducing that. And then the real big thing for every player is that in version 1.5 that is also scheduled for that month, we're getting BT 18 and 19, which are a huge number of cards flooding in, just like in the special booster. It's almost 150 cards that will completely change everything that you can do with your decks in it. Over on the VPET sides, we have a very strange and wonderful thing coming, apparently. They're doing another crossover with Monster Hunter, of all things. And now it is on its third round of pre-orders that it has been at least that popular, maybe even 4. I lost track after it sold out within 24 hours of its first pre-order. And these pre-orders should be available until October 28th unless they've sold out again. Ooh. So, what are these? Primarily, these are VPETs, as we've come to know them from Digimon. You'll still be raising them, raising them, training them, feeding them, cleaning up, all the kinds of stuff. It uses the Digimon software, but it will largely actually use monsters from Monster Hunter. The only 2 that have actually been confirmed to be different from Monster Hunter are these 2. Xenogarurumon, which is a cross between Garurumon and apparently Xenogre. I'm sorry if I butcher these, I am not a Monster Hunter player. And Laus Greymon, which is a cross of Rathalos and Greymon. And these are the only ones that are of anything to actually do with Digimon so far that have been announced. Perhaps there will be more coming, but that has all that has been said. The rest will just be monsters. They will go through different forms and grow up as raising different monsters. So it's a very unique thing to do. So if you like both of these franchises, which apparently a lot of people do, it'll be a very interesting thing for you to try out and a little bit of a change of pace. For me, I'm not huge into VPETs. I don't have one. I don't even own one myself. So, what do you think will be interesting about these? Do you think it'll be more fully Digimon and more will be announced? Let me know down in the comments below. Over on the anime side of things, there's nothing but the movies collection that I talked about last month, so there's nothing more to really talk about. It's really just not something that they consider to be an important thing to work on right now or talk about, because we still have no word about one. But over in video games, no, I'm not here to tell you the Digimon story game is coming. Actually, if you stick around to later, you might hear that there's actually possible bad news about the Digimon story game. But we'll get into that later. Let's get into what we're actually getting. So, one of the things that has been announced is a crossover event. Well, there's 2 crossovers. The first crossover event is with Puzzles and Dragons, which is a game I've played. I've certainly played around with it a bit. It's a little slow, so I didn't always get through it, but I love dragons. Puzzles are cool, so I certainly tried it out. Though unfortunately, I've heard it's actually not allowed in a lot of countries, so you might not actually be able to get access to this one. We don't know yet. But the official announcement still hasn't said anything about a date, except that it's coming this fall. Well, fall's coming around pretty quick. We're in fall now. It's getting chilly. Okay. So hopefully, we'll be getting a date on that very soon, and I'll be able to let you know when that will actually be coming, because it's a fun enough game. I will certainly check it out if I can. But speaking of crossovers, there's another crossover that I don't think we'll be able to experience, and that's the Metabots crossover. But wait, we've already had one of those. Yes, we did a long time ago. We got Ometamon and Grey Wars and Garuru Metal and all that back then. But now we're coming out with a second round of these, and it seems like we're getting more of the villains, like Machinedramon and Apocalymon and a Gomamon-looking Rakusho. But again, this is all in Japanese. There's absolutely no indication that we will be getting this anywhere outside of Japan, so for most of us, we can only hope that these show up as Ometamon did in Re-Arise. Might be our best kind of hopes that it shows up in other franchises. The only thing with merchandise I found this month is these Otodamas, which if you've been around enough, you've seen these pill-shaped pillow-looking kind of things with the faces on the front that I personally don't find them to look very good, but apparently lots of people do because they seem to keep making and selling them. And this time, it's not Digimon Adventure, it's Ghost Game. Okay, so our main 3 Digimon and 3 humans are here in this form. I mean, they're only $8, they're pretty small and cheap. So, if you're looking to pick up something that's not going to break your bank like some of this premium Bandai stuff, these are little things that are interesting to add to your collection. They are certainly unique. I'll give them that. They're conversation starters. And Digimon Liberator continues to move forward. We have issue 6 is out, and issue 7 started on October 10th, so we're halfway through at the time of recording this, and so we are hopefully moving into kind of another chapter of it with the debug team, and moving on to possibly seeming like more of a focused story about what it's moving into. I sure hope so. I've made an entire video if you want to look more into my thoughts about Digimon Liberator so far. And the tips continue to move out as well. Tip 10 was actually fairly interesting because it actually talked about the world and a location and teased the main scenario, which I really wish they would actually talk about more because it seems more interesting than most of what we've gotten. And the 11 was battle coverage, so if you like those, more power to you, but I honestly just skimmed through those. And tip 12 was a very interesting look into the Digimon Garden, the original development of the world, but things were redacted from it. There's enough, if you dive deeper into it, that one might get its own video talking about some of the things that could possibly be missing from that one. And if you're waiting for the novel, it won't be back until next month. In the Digimon Comics, Volume 2s will also be coming next month, which I had totally forgotten. That means that they are in sync with the Digimon Liberator novel, meaning they're not spaced out at all. So keep people talking, you space them out, so people, or like even just release the comics like 3 weeks from each other so that it spreads it out. I don't know many of their decisions they make sometimes. And in the sad news that I was talking about earlier, Bandai Namco has already laid off 100 people and is possibly laying off up to 200 people from its production studios, meaning that this is the company that is behind Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Digimon, Tales of series, many different games that they have out there, and more. And so, the only titles that have been officially canceled so far are Naruto and One Piece reportedly. So far there has been nothing that touches Digimon. But laying off 200 people, you have to assume that some of those people may very well be involved with Digimon and its productions, which is unfortunate because we've been waiting 8 years to hear even little tidbits at this point about our Digimon story game since they haven't given us anything in over 2 years about it. It's been a long wait, and this news is not promising. But, like I said, it is not confirmed that it touched Digimon, so until then, we can keep our hopes up and just pray that we'll actually get something at Digimon Con 2025. I think that's really the earliest we can expect to hear anything more about it now. And that covers up our news for October of 2024. As I said, not a lot this month. Again, it's another month that I'm pretty much telling you everything that is just announced or is coming. Maybe a couple pre-orders that you can get involved in. But November will be a lot more to actually talk about what is actually coming out and happening. But I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions about anything that's going on with Digimon, are you still playing Digital Tamers 2? That's the fan game that came out last month and I was talking all about. It's still going strong. It seems many people I know are still playing it. And what do you want Digimon to do? What is it that you're looking forward to most? Let me know. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a lovely time here on the Digimon Evening News. My name is Rordrik, and if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe so you get to hear more about what is going on in the Digimon world. And as always, everyone, remember to be awesome. Until the next one, take care. Signing off. Bye-bye.